Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. The title of this video, if you can't tell, is a little bit satirical, I guess you could say. Maybe you could even say sarcastic. My purpose isn't sarcasm. It's honestly a genuine question. And the reason I pose the question is because a recent article from ASEAN Now, ASEANnow.com, article is titled "No quote-unquote Omicron found in hundreds of Africans traced by Thai immigration." Now, bear in mind, this is from December 6th. We're making this video on the 13th, so it's a little bit dated, but I still think it's worthy of note for the rest of this video. And unlike most of the time, I'm gonna quote most of this article. Again, it's ASEAN Now, ASEANnow.com. I urge folks to go over and check that out, read it for yourselves. Quoting directly, "A proactive search by Thai immigration for African people who might have had the Omicron variant of COVID-19 has come up empty." Deputy Commander of the Immigration Bureau, Police Major General Achayan Kraitong told Thai PBS yesterday that 150 out of 248 Africans from 8 countries on the now restricted list have been traced and tested negative. I'll get to that in a minute. Quoting further, "A further approximately 100 are being sought. These people were in Thailand for family and tourism purposes. A further 500 who came from the continent from low-risk countries have also tested negative." Achayan assured the Thai public that all travelers coming into Thailand are being carefully screened. And I've seen other stuff. Apparently, the first confirmed Omicron case, or Omicron, if you listen to the American president, apparently he's called it Omicron quite a bit, but the first Omicron variant that was confirmed in Thailand came from an American who apparently came out of Spain. At least that's what was reported. And I read other articles. I'm not gonna delve into them all here, but where they've been tracing people around, going to people's houses, making them take tests, and these kinds of things. And I really have to say, why? You know, we've now seen this thing is not overly deadly. As you've seen in my prior videos, I really questioned the need for these really overarching protocols. And this is not me sticking it directly to Thailand either. Other countries, in my opinion, are doing far worse. I would put Thailand somewhere in the middle of the spectrum when you compare, stuff going on here to stuff going on in other places. So, all things considered, Thailand's kind of taking a more middle-of-the-road approach. That said, when the road is terrible, it doesn't matter how close to the middle you are, it's probably a good idea to just get off the road. The point I'm trying to make with this video is, one, if every time we have some variant that without any real data to show that it's a super threat to anyone, authorities are going to run out and just bother a bunch of tourists. Shouldn't we really be rethinking that just as a policy, especially as a country that wants to welcome tourists? On top of that, and I know nobody really likes talking about this, but I really have to question the exigent need, if you will, for any of this. We've become, in the past roughly 2 years, getting on to 2 years now, but at least 20 months, we've become kind of inured to the notion that, all of this is just business as usual, the quote-unquote new normal. Well, I'll be the first to say, I don't really like the new normal. I don't like the notion that if I get off a plane in Thailand and I'm just wandering around because I bumped into somebody at an airport, I was on the same plane with somebody, now just de facto, I can just be rounded up and tested and poked around on just by dint of the fact that I was in a certain location or was on a certain conveyance. I have real issues with that. And I think anybody that does any analysis of the overall situation, I think they're going to have issues with that as well. On top of that, again, we've crunched the numbers on this channel multiple times, for something that kills a percentage of the people that get it, I really question the need for this level of draconian response. Now, again, Thailand's not been the worst culprit for this by a long shot, frankly, in my opinion. but anywhere. I think we need to start really asking the question, is this really what we want to be doing? And is this what we want to be doing to people that want to come to Thailand, for tourism purposes? So again, just kind of it's one of my opinion pieces, one of my rants, if you will. But I don't really blame anybody in the sort of the government apparatus. These policies are in place, but isn't it time to really start rethinking the policies?